Hey guys, welcome back to Carsonian Beans, and today we will be talking about the top 5 underrated teams in NFL. And that doesn't necessarily mean that people think they're bad. It means that I think they're a lot better than other people think they are. Alright? So, things that'll be going on this, if people think like, oh, they're gonna be, heck, if I think someone's gonna be like 13-3, like one of the best teams, and other people think they're only gonna be like 10-4, there's such a big difference. I'm gonna call that underrated. Okay. All right. And I'm also, keep in mind, I'm doing an overrated, and I am predicting every single game. So just subscribe. The notification bell. Never said that. Like the video. Follow my Twitter, Patreon, Instagram, all that crap. If I have it down there, I don't know. All right. I've got my notes. Got my pages. And absolutely just pages of notes. I'm gonna show them to you because I know you're not gonna read them. Because my camera quality is not that good, or my phone quality. So I can keep on scooting around. I don't know why I can't just set this chair in a place and leave it there. Oh yeah, that's not mine. So I don't know if there's gonna be, it might say like 5 and then team and then 4 and then team. And this is in no particular order. So it's just gonna be the team name, so that way you can go through and be like, all right, I've heard enough for the Bills. Go to the. Dang, I said it. It's the Bills. The first thing I'm talking about is the Bills, and this is one of the ones I was talking about. People know that they're going to be good. People know that they're going to, compete for the division with the Patriots. I think that they are very, very highly up on that Super Bowl contenders list. And I have reasons, of course, that's why I made this video. Just that people seem to think they're going to go like 9-7. I think they might be the best team in the league this year. Right now, in my final preseason power rankings that I made way too early, I had the Bills in the first. If y'all want me to redo those, since Cam Newton's joined the Patriots, tell me. But anyways, let's get into some reasons. So let's just go with offense, and then we go to defense. So a big thing here is that I think that Josh Allen might be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, which is a really good thing. You look at his stats; they're just amazing. You don't beat him. And then also, the man can run. The man is very mobile. That's like he's like a lower level Lamar Jackson. I could see him turning into kind of a Lamar Jackson type player. That good. I think that this team is going to be very, very good. And the running back room, they had Devin Singletary, and then they got Zach Moss. Add on to that, that is, already they've got a good passing attack. Well, of course that is, and they've got a good rushing attack, and they had a wide receiver where they had John Brown and Cole Beasley on that wide receiver unit, and then you know what they did? They went on and they added Stephon Diggs to add to that. All right, and I guess Dawson Knox is the tight end. He's not the best, I'll give him that. The haters, but he's a good enough tight end, with all this other crap. So their offense right now, amazing. You don't stop them. Their defensive line is amazing. It's spectacular. They've got players like Ed Oliver on there, and they've also got a player called Star Lotulelei, who, whenever I looked at his stats, he has amazing stats, and no one ever talks about him. Where are the people talking about Star? Oh yeah, they don't exist. Not to mention their schedule is very, very easy. That was a whole page of Bills notes. I didn't even read them all. If y'all want me to read them all, then let me know. Alright, and then my second team I'm going to talk about are the Los Angeles Rams. Another big one. A lot of people think that they're going to be 115 to I had someone when I said 115, I had someone comment on one of my Rams videos saying, I think they're going to be in between 1-15 and 6-10. And I guess that is a possibility. Not really. But in my opinion, I feel like Jared Goff is in a position to where he could bounce back. And right now, he's already one of the not top quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's like above average quarterback. I'm talking about a few years back when he was one of the best quarterbacks. I feel like he has the potential to bounce back, and even if he doesn't, he's got a good team around him. I mean, he's got Cooper Kupp, Josh Reynolds on that wide receiver unit, and running back unit, we had Henderson. He looked good a few years ago whenever he actually got play time. They got rid of Todd Gurley. Now he's going to take over this running game probably. And also, you got to look, they have Aaron Donald on the defensive line, and they added Jalen Ramsey to it last year. So, I mean, that defense is pretty freaking stacked, alright? That was nowhere as long as to talk about the Rams. And also, I didn't say anything about their schedule, because, I mean, their division is pretty tough, but I feel like they could definitely fight it out. I could see them maybe win the division. I mean, I haven't done my final predictions for them yet, but we'll see. Alright, and then we got the third team. We're finally getting into, the people think they're pretty bad. We've got the Panthers on here. I mean, you saw what Teddy Bridgewater did for the Saints. He played like 4 or 5 games and he won I think all of them. I think he was on, and he looked really good. And I know he had the Saints team is amazing. But, I mean, still, he looked like if the Saints had him starting, they probably would have made the playoffs if he started the whole season. He is a pretty good quarterback, and it might take them a little bit, but I feel like Teddy Bridgewater is going to probably do great things with the Panthers. So you've got Teddy Bridgewater, who can make plays. And then you've also added Christian McCaffrey as a running back, who is, we all know that he's one of the top running backs. They added Robbie Anderson, a wide receivers, to add to that. He doesn't. It doesn't hurt. He's not exactly the best. They've also got players like Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore already, as a what's it called, wide receiver unit. I don't know why I forgot. I have it written down right here. I just didn't look. Their secondary is really good. I mean, they got like Eli Apple up there. They've only got one downside, okay, and that is that they need more depth on their offensive line. Like, with like the big pandemic going on, there's probably going to be a lot of people out of games just for that. I mean, it's going to be weird, and I feel like they have there's down. On their defensive line, they have Tyler Larson, who is the second. He's the second string offensive line for 3 players. So I mean, and then they've also got Chris Reed, who is the third string for 2 of the players that he is. So think about it. If all 3 of those players get Rona, they're gonna be in deep trouble. They're gonna have to pull out 4th stringers. They're gonna have to put like defensive linemen on the secondary defensive lineman as an offensive lineman. What they should have done is a draft and drafted like maybe 1 or 2 offensive linemen. They spent all their draft picks on defense, and I mean, looking at it, it looks like that paid off. I mean, but they really needed to help that offensive line. They've got a pretty solid one, but I mean, if anybody gets injured, it's gonna be pretty catastrophic. And my 4th team I'm going to talk about is the Redskins. I think they are pretty underrated. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be 10-4. And also, whenever I say a team is underrated, I don't mean that they're like the Panthers. I don't expect them to go 12-4. I don't think they're going to go 10-4. I expect them to go like 8-8, 9-7. But everyone else is expecting them to go like 3-4, 3-13, 4-12, 5-11, that range. So that's. Just because I think that they're underrated doesn't mean that I think they're really good. Like, I'm not saying the Panthers are really good. They're still going to have to fight to get into the playoffs, just like the Redskins. People are saying kind of the same thing. People saying they're going to be like 2-14, 3-13, falling in the draft. I think that they might have a chance to make the playoffs, fighting probably directly with the Panthers for that 3rd playoff spot. It's definitely a possibility. Now, let me tell you my reasons for that. I'm not just, saying stuff. So I'm sorry if the name offends you, but they don't have a new one as of right now. Although by the time I post this video, it's probably going to turn out they have one. At this time, which is, I have a clock right over there, 10:54 on July, I think, 12th. I have not seen anything that they changed their name. So I'm going to right now call them the Redskins. Well, I'll just come Washington. So, start off with the offense like we have been doing. They've got Dwayne Haskins on there, and I know what you're saying. Oh, he didn't prove anything. You saw week by week, he went from a pretty bad quarterback, one of the worst, all the way up to an average quarterback. His last 2 games, I know I say this in all my videos, he had over 100 quarterback rating very easily. He didn't throw any interceptions, and he threw touchdowns against teams like the Eagles and the Giants. They just had to throw those games, and in the Giants game, he got injured, which they went to overtime in. Also, their running backs, they have Adrian Peterson, who is always good. He said he's only going to play for like 2 or 3 more years, but he's one of the best running backs. I mean, he was one of the best running backs, but now he's just good. He is a solid running back. Also, you got Darius Guice on there. I actually went to a Panthers v Redskins game, Washington game, sorry, last year. It was sometime in December, and he looked amazing. I was actually there, and then I watched some of the games. He is an amazing running back whenever he's not injured, and right now, he's not injured, so he's gonna go. Although if he gets injured again, then I could definitely see them trading him or trying to get another running back, something like that. That could be bad. That is a downside. One of the reasons why I don't have them. Well, I don't think that they're going to be 10-4 and 11-5. I don't know what I have them at yet. I said 10-4. It's 10-6, you dummy. Also, look at this wide receiver unit. You've got Terry McLaurin, who everyone kind of agrees was amazing. But also, if you watch those last couple of games, Steven Sims really became a weapon on this team. I mean, really. You can't stop him. He's very good. Okay? He was also the first player to, make a team have a lead over the Patriots. I mean, come on. Now let's talk about some defense, shall we? We all know what I'm going to instantly go to. Chase Young. The addition of Chase Young is everything. He is the best rookie player right now. He was the best player in the draft, and they got him at second. They sniped him out of the air. That's going to make the defensive line. They got John Bostic on there. They got Ryan Kerrigan on there. They got Jonathan Allen on there. And then they add Chase Young to that. And then not to mention, you've got Kendall Fuller, Landon Collins, and Fabian Moreau on that secondary. Whoa, back. Their defense is stacked. I know I'm moving all these head movements, but I mean, it's what I have to do. And the final team that I will be talking. Oh, also, Tressway is the best punter in the league. So if they have to do a lot of punting, at least that's good. And their division is very, very weak. They don't have a single good team in their whole division. So, not only could they be fighting for that 3rd playoff spot, I don't know why I keep on doing like this, but they also going to be fighting for the division. I mean, they've got the Cowboys are probably going to be. I mean, the Cowboys are just bad. I mean, they always have been. I don't know. The Eagles are rebuilding, and the Giants are kind of exiting the rebuilding phase. Redskins exited it last year. They kind of went from rebuilding into now they are pretty good. Like I said, definitely probably going to make the playoffs. And then we got I almost said it, the final team in this long video that I thank you so much for watching are the Los Angeles Chargers. We got both Los Angeles teams on here. Look, I think I had them like at 9-7 or like, yeah, I think I have it 9-7 in my predictions. No, I just pulled up that video. Go watch it and figure out why. I dare you. I'm telling you right now to go do it. Why? So, welcome back from watching that last video. We got they have Tyrod Taylor, who, if you remember, he brought the Bills. It's kind of weird. He brought the Bills into the playoffs for the first time in so long. Barely lost a playoff game to a team that went on to have the highest scoring playoff game ever, I think. I think I saw something that said that. Against the Steelers, where they both scored over 40 points. And have a lead against the Patriots and have Tom Brady have to make a big comeback against them. So, I don't see why they sent him over to the Bills, not the Browns. And then he barely lost a few games, mainly because of their kicker. right? And now he's over on the Chargers in second string, and now he's got a chance to prove it, to say that, hey, he kind of has a Teddy Bridgewater chance. Teddy Bridgewater got a few games last year. Now he's starting for the Panthers. Tyrod Taylor probably going to have at least two or three games that he's going to start. That's his chance. He's got to take that chance and run with it, and I think he's got the opportunity to do that. And after he goes on, they've got Justin Herbert, who looked great. He is a great quarterback. And they've got Austin Eckler on that running back unit. They've got freaking Keenan Allen on that wide receiver unit. Andre Patton. And Hunter Henry. We're seeing the trend here. A lot of these receiving units are pretty good. I haven't talked a lot about tight ends, but Hunter Henry is a very good tight end. Right? Now, let's talk about some defense. Alright. Their defensive line is amazing. They've got, like, Joey Bosa on that thing. Their defensive line is, I don't know how to say it. Their defensive line is very, very, very good. And also, on top of that, they've got a chance. You look at their division, you've got, the Chiefs, you've got the Broncos, who have, they're poised and ready to launch. I might have them overrated. And then you have the Raiders, who are pretty, they're pretty good. The Chargers, if they do what everyone else is saying, they could end up at the bottom of the division. But also, you gotta look at this, their schedule is easy. They have an easy schedule. So if they do really good, if everything that I'm saying comes into pass, Tyrod Taylor fights to get another starting chance to prove that he has still got it, then I think that they could probably pretty easily make the playoffs. Possibly I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a run deep into the playoffs. The Super Bowl, they've got teams like the Ravens. If they get very lucky and they kind of have, the Titans knock off everyone and then they have to play against the Titans, that's possible. So, I could see them. This is a team that everyone thinks is going to be 8-8 to 9-7. This is a team that I think could go 10-4. 10-6 to 12-4. That is the range I'm putting them at. Okay? Ignore my predictions where I said they're going to be 9-7. This is what I'm saying, okay? So, 17-minute long video. How are you feeling? You like it? Dislike it? Tell me in the comments below. Don't you dare dislike this video. Don't you dislike it. What do you not like about this? My face? It's because I have, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm sorry if they weren't, the names over here, if my head kept on getting in the way, or if my constant movements made you want to die. And if they didn't, you should probably hit subscribe, because I make videos right now every other day, my predictions, and I'm always posting at least every other day, unless I go on vacation or something, in which I'm probably going to try to have videos pre-recorded. But enough with that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully. I better see